Signs you are a loner. Do you think curling up with a good book beats a party any day of the week? However, just because the term loner may have taken on some negative connotations doesn't mean being one is a bad thing by any means. There's evidence to suggest that loners aren't inherently unhappy, and in many cases are of higher intelligence than their extroverted counterparts. And if you're wondering why flying solo can be a good thing, discover these 20 reasons spending time alone is essential for your health. In fact, you think the best seat in the house is right in your living room. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy going out, however, it just means you know that the best company is your own. Being a loner doesn't necessarily mean you avoid all social functions, but it does mean you choose them carefully, and that you generally need some time to recuperate afterward. Just because you're a loner doesn't mean you're always eager to be completely alone. In fact, many loners are devoted pet parents. If you're a loner, your furry friends may even seem like better conversationalists than your average human, or at least better listeners. If you're a loner, the idea of heading to a crowded bar and trying to meet someone in person sounds about as pleasant as getting a root canal, without anesthesia. That means that when you're tasked with doing a group project, you're eager to split up the work as soon as possible so you don't get stuck with a chatty partner. A dark room where nobody's talking is practically your idea of heaven, so you're a frequent solo moviegoer? While you do feel some genuine concern when a friend informs you they've come down with the flu, you also breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that the less time you spend with them means more time to yourself. Just because you largely prefer your own company doesn't mean you don't want a romantic relationship. However, it does mean figuring out the balance between making the other person feel valued and giving yourself ample time to spend alone. Loners can be very engaged with and loyal to the people they love and care about, but even with them, they need time to themselves, says Koenig. Texting is always a more comfortable means of communication for you, and you're not the only one who feels that way. You love getting to see all the highlights from your friends' lives, their weddings, their promotions, the birth of their children, but to you, it's information best accessed from behind a screen. If you're a loner, you know that sleeping solo is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, and you've got the just big enough for you and no one else twin bed to prove it. You need to know that you'll have enough time to be alone, preferably both before and after any kind of social affair, so you never feel bad about turning down plans that only leave you a few minutes to get ready. While road trips with a group of friends or family members seem like a nightmare, getting behind the wheel alone is always a restorative experience for you. Those how are yous and what's news are like nails on a chalkboard to you, and you'll never understand why people are so eager to fill dead space with meaningless chit-chat. It's not the work itself that bothers you, after all, it's the constant interruptions from your coworkers and the expectation that you'll spend your precious free time outside the office socializing with them, too. You're not the kind of person who spends their whole day talking to the people around you. In fact, you often realize that you haven't said more than a few words to other people over the course of an entire day. And considering how focused people are on making every event a social activity, you definitely think it's a little bit brave for you to buck the trend.